Wing Chun Kung Fu is the only martial art invented by women to fight against a bigger, stronger, faster opponent. Here's a little history about the awesome art of Wing Chun Kung Fu. About 375 years ago, the historic Shaolin Temple in mainland China was burned down. Now, there are various stories about exactly how that happened, but it did have to do with some kind of conflicts between those at the temple and those in the current government. At that time, 5 of the elder masters of Kung Fu, the Shaolin Kung Fu, escaped from the temple. One of the 5 was a Buddhist nun named Ying Wei. She was the only female in that group of 5 masters of Shaolin Kung Fu. She escaped the temple and she fled to a small town at the base of a mountain. Now, as a master of Shaolin Kung Fu, Ying Wei had noticed that because it is a harder style that does focus on speed and strength, that when she would be fighting with some of the men who were at equal skill or slightly not as skilled, she would still be defeated because size, strength, and speed made up the difference. While she was trying to figure out what to do about this, she reportedly witnessed a fight between a snake and a crane. And noting the way that they fought each other, she decided to come up with a new martial arts system. The system did not have a name, but it was devised to use the opponent's force against them via skillful means and geometry. There was a young girl who lived in that town by the name of Yim Wing Chun. Ying Wei heard a story from Yim Wing Chun's father about the fact that the local bully, who came from a powerful family at a time with very little law enforcement, had decided that he was going to be taking Yim Wing Chun as his bride, and the family really didn't have much of a say in it. Ying Wei met Yim Wing Chun and told her to let the bully know that if he can come back in 2 years, she will fight him. If he wins, she will become his bride. Now, this bully was also a martial arts master, so he just laughed and said, fine, take 2 years if that's what you want. And he gave her the time. She then began training with Ying Wei in this art that Ying Wei had created. After a couple of years studying this new system under Ying Wei, the bully came back. Yim Wing Chun, as promised, fought him. She soundly defeated him, and she was then able to marry the man who she loved. Ying Wei then decided to name the art after young Yim Wing Chun. Now, Yim Wing Chun taught her husband the art, and after that, as usually happened in those times, the grandmasters and masters who passed it down from then on in were all male. Now, the most famous one you've probably heard of is Yip Man, who all these recent movies were made about. He was also the first Kung Fu instructor to Bruce Lee. Here at Do Strength, as part of our female empowerment mission, we really want to bring Wing Chun back to women and girls. Now, as the only art ever invented by a woman designed to fight a bigger, stronger, and faster opponent, we think that this is a critical skill that all women should know, at least a part of, as far as getting away from being grabbed by the wrist or grabbed by the body and controlled. This Saturday, November 26th, from noon until 2, Do Strength is hosting what we call a dad-daughter self-defense workshop. This is not just for dads and daughters, it's really for anybody who wants to learn how to defend themselves against a bigger, stronger, and faster opponent, specifically how to get out of being grabbed by your wrists in various ways, being put into a headlock, being grabbed from behind and pulled down onto the ground. We also are going to teach how to punch really fast and really hard. These are all skills that if you practice them on a regular basis, you will be able to defend yourself very effectively. And also, very importantly, the skills and confidence to be able to say no more easily.